Like, check this out. Somebody legit hit my Cybertruck. How do you hit a Cybertruck, first of all? And how do you hit it while you're backing up parallel parking? Like, you drove past it, you saw it there, and then you hit it going like 2 miles an hour? So a lot has been happening with my Cybertruck, as you can see here, and I want to go over everything with you. I don't know if this thing is cursed, or I'm just using it to the fullest, or what is going on, but I'm happy it's tough because it's gone through a lot since I got it a few months ago, and nothing has stopped it so far. So that's the good news, is Cybertruck is holding on, it's getting me everywhere I need to go, but now I need to get a few things worked on and fixed, which is annoying, but it's kind of part of the fun and, you know, good for content and everything. I wish none of this happened, but it's been happening. So let's go through it. So let's go in order. If you've been watching, you know that this A-pillar trim piece here did come off. And right here, there's a nut, and I've seen some other people now on X where this is happening to them. This nut comes off, and then this whole piece starts flapping around, and Tesla replaced that under warranty. So we're good there. That was totally like Tesla's fault, and the Cybertruck had something dumb going on, and that's what that was. Well, shortly after that, somebody backed into my Cybertruck when they were parallel parking. It's like, how do you, I don't know, how do you back into this thing? How do you miss it? Like, obviously you see it. How do you hit this? This video is brought to you by Joa, my choice for premium Tesla and vehicle accessories. Claim your exclusive discount with the link in the description below. But let me show it to you. Here it is. Can you tell? Can you tell where it is? Anything that happened? No, not really. So if you look over here, this panel, now you can kind of see it from here, right here, bent up. So I have a picture of before. So it's a little bit of a story, but I had a friend who wanted to rent the Cybertruck, and I was like, yeah, for sure. You know, he gave me his Model S in the meantime because I needed to get to work, and he wanted to use the Cybertruck, and he rented it for me, and that was awesome. And I'm happy, you know, that he got to do that. Well, he was parked somewhere, and he had parked way far away from everybody, and somebody found him and just happened to park by him, even though he tried to park far away. And you're looking at the video right now, but basically they went to parallel park behind the Cybertruck and they hit it. And I think if they would have just stopped there, nothing would have happened. But then they tried to drive forward and they pulled this back panel up and bent it out just a little bit. And so as of now, you can't see it because my buddy took it to a place near him, an exotic car shop, and they did bend it back. So as it is, it's definitely sticking out. The metal will never be the same if this doesn't get replaced by Tesla. And so I've been really conflicted on whether or not I actually want to fix this. Because I mean, come on, it's a truck, it's gonna get dinged up, it's gonna have, you know, little stuff happening here and there. But for a couple of reasons. Number one, because this thing is brand new. I want it to be brand new and nice. And number two, Michigan, when you are dealing with insurance, is a no-fault state. So if somebody crashes into you, you're driving and someone crashes into you, it doesn't matter if it's 100% their fault. Your insurance takes care of your car, their insurance takes care of their car. That's no fault. It's kind of sucky, but that's the way it is. But there is one scenario where that's not true, and it's where if the vehicle is parked, and I don't know if nobody is in it or it's just that it's parked, and because the Cybertruck was parked and nobody was in it at the time of this accident, the other person's insurance is 100% responsible. My insurance will not even be involved. So we're doing that. We're definitely going to go through. Now, what do you think this costs? I was a little worried because I knew that Tesla's basically just going to, this is a big panel. They can just take it off and put another one on. I knew that's what they were going to do. And I did get the quote for it. What do you think this costs? Because I was worried this was going to be super expensive. Again, it's a really expensive vehicle. Expensive vehicles have expensive repairs that can be time consuming. And the other thing is parts. Like, are they going to have parts for this? Just like I was worried about before. Well, here is the quote. It's actually, they're assuming it's going to be about $2,700 to do this work and take less than 1 day. And that, I think, is great news. I think it's a quick turnaround, and I think that the price is more than reasonable for such an expensive vehicle. And it's like the biggest stainless steel panel on the vehicle as well. They can just pop it off and put another one on, which is great news. Now, the bad news for me is the service center here can't do this work yet. They are opening a new service center, but they wouldn't be able to get me in until August. It's currently May, if you're paying attention, and that kind of sucks. Now, I could go down to Ohio and get this done sooner, which is probably what I'll do, but if I didn't want to do that, or I wasn't in any time crunch or anything, I would just wait, and I could have it done in a few months. It'll all be paid for anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But I want to get the Cybertruck wrapped. There's a local company here that'll be another video. So I'm going to do this. Okay, so that's that. Now, the other interesting thing I'm finding about this is look at this panel right where he damaged it. If we get close, what do you see? There is some rust here. So where this was damaged, it is rusty. So with you, I didn't want to touch it, but with you, I'm going to try to clean this off and see what it looks like when I clean that, and if the rust will be gone, if it'll come back later, or what will happen. But overall, looking at this damage, definitely if this was, you know, a 5 or 10-year-old truck, you could just ignore that. All right, so I think you can see that okay. All I have on me right now is Windex. I'm sure you'd want to do soap and water on this first, but what do I care? So there's a bunch of Windex, and let's clean off just this one little area. I got to get all the dirt off and nothing else. Yeah, look at that. So this is what will happen if your stainless steel gets damaged, and this is just life. This is the way this works, is if there's damage, you can get some superficial rust. Now, since, I mean, I'm not paying for it, but since the insurance is paying for it, I'm going to see if Tesla will let me take this panel home and we can play with this over time and see if this rust progresses or what happens. But now seeing this as kind of dramatic as that is, there's no chance I wouldn't get this fixed. Before I was thinking it was really superficial, but seeing that in there, at the minimum, you'd at least have to like buff this out and get all that rust out so that it doesn't spread and doesn't continue moving through the stainless steel. But now that that's clean, so let's check this out. You saw me clean it. You saw everything, and that is what it looks like. So there's definitely, I mean, is that rust? It's hard to tell. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure that that is some surface level rust contamination. Now, would this continue to spread throughout the panel? Man, that is really hard to say. It's impossible for me to say, but if they let me take this home, then we will be able to check this out over time. I'll just leave it outside and see how it ages. That'll be fun. But overall, if you have damage, if this first superficial layer does get damaged, you will get this intrusion. So it's kind of disappointing to see, honestly. It was a really low-level impact, and you get this much damage on the Cybertruck. You can see, obviously, that that's still bent. But I will say it did hold up better than the other vehicle. The other vehicle has a lot more damage. I tried to get some estimates online, and people were kind of guessing, ranging anywhere between $2,500 all the way up to $5,000 or even more for the repair on that person's vehicle. So this repair is less expensive, and overall, I don't think this damage would affect the vehicle in any way. Maybe in 5 years from now, that rust will spread a lot through this panel, maybe, maybe not. And at that time, maybe you could find an aftermarket panel for super cheap. But an interesting scenario nonetheless. There you go, a Cybertruck collision, and the Cybertruck is having no problems from that slow collision, completely drivable, and it's an easy fix. All right, next up, let's talk about our solar panels, because I know you want some solar panels, and that's where today's sponsor, Drone Quote, comes in. Guess what? I love my solar panels, but they are not for everyone. It's true. And Drone Quote is not afraid to tell you that. You can use their free services. They will come out to you. They'll take pictures of your home. They will go to all the solar installers in the area, including Tesla. They will talk to those installers and get you all the prices and kind of tell you, hey, these guys have a good track record. Here's the best prices. Here's what you need. Or they will let you know what, right now, your kind of electricity use and costs and everything don't make sense with solar. So maybe check back with us in a year or two and see if it makes sense at that time. But right now, it does not. Drone Quote is seriously looking out for you. Their number one priority is helping people get solar that actually will benefit from it. So definitely check out the link below. Take advantage of Drone Quote. Their services are awesome. And then when your solar's installed, they'll come back, they'll check it out, make sure everything was done right. They're great. So let's talk about something now on the Cybertruck that broke and is not my fault and is not anybody's fault but Tesla's. And that is right here, this piece of glass. So I came out of work, and I don't have 100% proof here besides basically Tesla admitting fault, but I came out of work, sit in the Cybertruck, and I don't really notice at first because this is on the passenger side, and then I look over and I'm like, whoa, my glass is shattered. What is going on? So here's what it looks like. It actually looks pretty cool, but there's a big hole down here. So I've been parking it in the garage because I'm worried rain is going to get in there. But it's actually pretty solid up here. But so I took pictures of this, I sent it to Tesla, and this is right after I was talking to them about getting that panel fixed we just looked at. And I go, you're not gonna believe this, but I walked out of work and this is what it looks like. There was nothing on Sentry mode, it just looked like this. There were no videos. My parking lot at work is really quiet. There's nobody around. I can actually see my truck outside, not from my desk, but from where I'm walking often. I didn't see anybody out there. There was no landscaping going on, so whatever. So I sent Tesla some pictures, and long story short, they said that this is going to be replaced under warranty because they didn't see any point of impact. Now, I haven't seen anyone else have this problem, and I think that my tint being in here helped it stay in place. So I'm really glad I got the tint, or else this would just be a giant hole in my Cybertruck. But super annoying, and I'm surprised it happened. It's not unheard of. If there's imperfections in glass, it can break, over time or with temperature changes. A lot of people asked if it was like a hot day. I'm in Michigan and most of the Cybertrucks are in like Florida and Texas, and I haven't heard of this happening. So maybe the temperature was involved, but I would guess we would see this more in places where it gets much hotter than it is in Michigan, at least right now. Also of note is this is the same as we talked about earlier, A-pillar piece that they replaced. So maybe they nicked this while they were working on it. I have no idea. It doesn't really matter exactly how it happened, but it seems to be some type of manufacturer defect in this piece of glass. It shattered randomly. It actually looks like it shattered from right here and kind of radiated out, but hard to know for sure. And Tesla's going to replace it under warranty. Again, what do you think this would cost? Of course, I'm not paying because it's a warranty repair, but I got the quote right around $264 for this piece of glass. Again, I feel like for an expensive car, this big, relatively big piece of side glass, I don't think that's that bad of a price. Tesla's prices on their parts are usually pretty good, and I'm seeing that with everything. I wish I didn't know any of this stuff, but what I'm having to deal with the Cybertruck, I'm kind of seeing that their pricing is really not bad on these parts. So this can be repaired by my local place, and it's going to be done in less than a week. So it was like 11 days, I think, from me requesting the service to them being able to repair it for me. So again, it'd be nice to do it same day, but with a brand new vehicle, I'm not surprised that they don't have the parts really ready to go any sooner than that. I think the timing is really good. Again, I knew what I was getting into buying a Foundation series, paying the extra, missing autopilot and all that stuff. So I'm kind of taking it in stride, and obviously I can make videos about it. But if you don't want to deal with these things, and a lot of people are like, oh, I'm waiting till Foundation is done, or I'm going to wait a year or 2 years or whatever to get my first Cybertruck, I think that's also a great decision, because something like this or something like this, pillar coming off, way less chance of any of that stuff happening. All right, final issue. You ready? My Cybertruck is getting its butt kicked. You ready for the last thing that happened? You can't really see it. And this one was, I'll call it my fault, although I didn't see the stick. So there's a stick up under here. Oh, you can't see it because it's covered in dirt now. Okay, well, I'll show you the pictures. But under this mud flap right here, this huge stick, which you'd think I would see in the road, but I didn't, went up and stabbed into that mud flap. Now, I'm glad the mud flap did its job, because if it wasn't there, I think it would have went right into the tire. I don't know how it happened, but yeah, I think that would have went right into my tire and gave me a flat tire. As it was, I was driving, just me and my older daughter, and we hear a tuk, 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 and she's like, what is that sound? I'm like, oh my gosh, this is after the window shattered, after the Cybertruck got hit by somebody. I'm like, what is happening now? Like, why am I dealing with all these things? And I get out and I just see this huge stick sticking out of there. I just ripped it off, and it was just the stick hitting the ground as we were driving. That's what the sound was. And the stick is still in there. There's still part of a stick in there. I couldn't really get it out. And to be honest, I don't care. This is one of the things, I'm talking about with the truck kind of being tough and being good for the roads I drive on and everything. I'm just gonna leave it in there. You can replace these flaps, but from talking with people online, you actually have to buy this entire rocker to replace just that little piece, even though just that little piece comes off, and it's like, again, $240 or something. Quick interruption. After recording this, it looks like that part, that back mud flap, may actually be available directly from Tesla for only $15. That is ridiculous, and for that price, I'm gonna buy it, and I'm gonna replace this thing myself, because these things are relatively easy to take on and off. For this whole piece, again, I feel like that price is not too bad, and if you needed to replace it or wanted to, you could. You had the option. I could do it myself, or I could have Tesla do it. This I'm just going to leave. You can't even see it. It's just a little hole in this mud flap. It did not go all the way through. So if you look at the back here, there's nothing on this side at all. Absolutely nothing. I can zoom in a little bit for you. But yeah, so there's absolutely nothing there. That's just kind of what it is. And I'm going to leave that as is, and that's the Cybertruck. So next up, in the next week or so, I'm going off-roading with this thing. Finally, I just have not had time to do it. I'm gonna get, I need some permits and a flag and stuff, and I'm gonna get that stuff, and then we're gonna take it off-roading, and I hope I don't break anything there. I really hope that nothing breaks. I am not an experienced off-roader, but I'm gonna bring some people with me who are, and we can really push this thing and test the off-road modes and see how it will do. But overall, I'll give you an update once all this is done. The insurance portion for the hit is already like in motion, so it's been fairly easy. I think we should be all good there, but I'll give you a final update once all of these things are repaired. And I will have to get my tint redone, which is kind of annoying in this part. That probably won't happen for a while just because I have to find time. But overall, I don't know if I'm cursed. Hopefully that's it. No more damage. I think I've made enough videos about the Cybertruck getting fixed and repaired and damaged. That's good. Let's not make any more content about that, at least for a long time. So if you have any questions, leave those down below. You'll see me in the next video.